Imagine sailing through a narrow, deadly strait. On one side, a monstrous whirlpool ready to devour you whole. On the other, a ferocious beast that snatches sailors from their decks. What would you choose? Welcome to the legendary world of Charybdis and Scylla, the terrifying sea monsters of Greek mythology. When ancient mariners set out into the unknown waters of the Mediterranean, they faced dangers beyond storms and treacherous rocks. Greek mythology captured these fears in the terrifying forms of Charybdis and Scylla, two sea monsters that symbolized the no-win situations sailors often found themselves in. Let's begin with Charybdis. Charybdis was once a beautiful naiad, a water nymph, beloved by Zeus himself, but loyalty to her father, Poseidon, would ultimately be her doom. When Poseidon waged war against Zeus over the Earth's lands, Charybdis sided with her father and helped him flood vast territories. As punishment, Zeus transformed her into a hideous sea monster, cursed to live beneath a rock and eternally swallow the sea 3 times a day, creating a monstrous whirlpool capable of pulling entire ships under. Located beneath a fig tree on one side of a narrow strait, often believed to be the Strait of Messina between Sicily and mainland Italy, Charybdis was a force of nature that no sailor could outrun. One moment the waters would be calm, the next a deafening roar would rise as the ocean itself twisted into a giant, swirling mouth, dragging down anything unfortunate enough to be near. But escaping Charybdis did not guarantee survival. On the opposite side of the strait lurked Scylla. Unlike Charybdis, Scylla's origins are murky. Some say she was once a gorgeous maiden loved by Glaucus, a sea god. Unfortunately, Glaucus sought the help of the sorceress Circe to win Scylla's heart. But Circe, jealous of Scylla's beauty, poisoned the waters where she bathed. As a result, Scylla mutated into a grotesque creature with 12 dangling legs, 6 long necks topped with horrifying heads, and a triple row of razor-sharp teeth in each mouth. Scylla took residence high up on a rocky cliff, and whenever ships sailed too close, she would snatch up 6 sailors at a time, 1 for each of her heads, dragging them screaming into the depths. The terrifying duo of Charybdis and Scylla turned the narrow strait into an unsolvable riddle for seafarers. Steer too close to Charybdis and risk being swallowed by the sea, or move too close to Scylla and sacrifice crew members to her gnashing jaws. This deadly dilemma became so iconic that it gave birth to a famous expression still used today: between Scylla and Charybdis, meaning being caught between 2 equally terrible choices. Homer's Odyssey vividly captures this perilous passage. In the epic, Odysseus, guided by the sorceress Circe's warning, is forced to make an agonizing decision. Knowing he cannot avoid both dangers, Odysseus chooses to pass closer to Scylla, sacrificing a few of his men to save the rest of his crew from the annihilation of Charybdis. Whirlpool. His leadership, while heartbreaking, ensures that the majority survive. A brutal lesson in the cost of hard decisions. The legends of Charybdis and Scylla don't just showcase physical monsters. They symbolize life's inevitable hard choices, where neither path is safe and survival demands sacrifice. Even today, their myth continues to capture our imaginations. Writers, artists, and filmmakers have retold their stories, drawn by the eternal relevance of facing impossible decisions. Whether you're dealing with tough business choices, personal dilemmas, or moral conflicts, the haunting specters of Scylla and Charybdis remind us that sometimes we must accept loss to avoid total destruction. Interestingly, some scholars have tried to connect these ancient myths to real phenomena. The Strait of Messina is known for its strong tidal currents and whirlpools, which could explain the origin of Charybdis. Likewise, treacherous rocks and sudden underwater cliffs could easily spawn legends of a monstrous predator waiting just beneath the surface. In a world without radar, GPS, or modern nautical charts, the sea was a place of awe and terror, To the ancient Greeks, monsters like Charybdis and Scylla weren't just stories. They were explanations for the unpredictable and often deadly forces of nature that lay just beyond the visible horizon. Today, Charybdis and Scylla remain two of the most powerful symbols in mythology, an eternal reminder that courage isn't just about fighting monsters. Sometimes it's about choosing the lesser evil, bearing the cost, and sailing onward despite the fear. So the next time you're caught between a rock and a hard place, remember you're navigating waters once ruled by Charybdis and Scylla.